The other game, you saw Jayden Daniels coming out partying. Now, this is a 1 o'clock game against the Bengals on a Sunday. Okay. You'd probably look at the highlights and go, all right, Commanders, go get them. All right, little spunky guys there. Jayden Daniels, yeah, that's right. Yeah, LSU. In fact, that you had LSU versus LSU. It was Joe Burrow against Jayden Daniels, and they were both great. In fact, here's Dan Quinn, the coach of the Commanders, talking about his quarterback.
He's a really cool customer, and he's got real poise about him. I thought going in, we knew the importance of the ball. And, the decision-making for that, we just couldn't give them short fields and chances to go. So his ability to know when to, when not to, when to make a play with his legs, I thought we've seen a lot of this at practice, and now it's carrying over into the games where the decision-making, sliding, going, taking your shot. But I thought it was a really strong performance tonight by him.
He did take a pop. He took one big hit, and I'm going, you've got to learn this in college. But other than that, I mean, he's fun to watch. And I've said it before that, you can see some RG3 in him. And hopefully he doesn't run the way RG3 did, taking on contact. But he's fun. Terry McLaurin is the Rod Tidwell. If you're a fan of Jerry Maguire and Cuba Gooding Jr. III's role there, it's almost like Terry McLaurin. You watch him and you go, okay, all right. You don't talk about him. He's a third-round draft pick out of Ohio State, but he was more of a kick returner, I think, in college. And then he's a guy that if you watch their games, you'll go, okay, he's pretty good. And so we liken him to Rod Tidwell, Cuba Gooding's character with Jerry Maguire. He was fun last night. But this is where you look at the Bengals at the Panthers, the new and improved Panthers with the former Bengal Andy Dalton quarterbacking them. Then you got the Ravens, then you got at the Giants. The new and improved Giants. But the Bengals, I don't get this, hey, they normally get off to a slow start. If I'm a Bengal fan, yeah, okay, we know we do. How about we fix this? It's not like, yeah, that's just what happens when you're a Bengal fan. We get off to a slow start. That's not the excuse that I want. Here's Joe Burrow after the loss last night.
They played great on offense today. Jayden played unbelievable. We had our opportunities and didn't cash in on them. So that's been the common denominator from the first 3 weeks. We've had opportunities and didn't cash in on those. So whatever we got to do to get better this week so we can come back on Sunday and execute in the spots and get better in the spots that we need to is what we're going to do.
They have lost their swag. They have lost their swag big time. So they're at the Panthers, Ravens, and at the Giants. As for the Commanders, they're at the Cardinals, they got the Browns, and at the Ravens. Also, the Bengals have given up receiving touchdowns to offensive linemen in consecutive games.
That is random.
It is random. So I was curious, how many teams have given up touchdowns to offensive linemen in NFL history in back-to-back games? It's happened 5 times. Since 1943. Okay. That might be, if I'm the Bengals defensive coordinator, I might go, hey, let's keep an eye on that tackle here down by the goal line. Chances are they've spotted our weakness in our defense. Yes, Paulie.
That's what I thought things were going well for the Commanders. When you could call a play for a tackle, that means you're pretty comfortable how the game is going.
What's the poll question first hour? And then we'll have Saquon Barkley joining us coming up.
I would start my football team with ...
Okay.
Brock Purdy, obviously. Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Jayden Daniels.
Yes, Paul.
So this poll question is to gauge the reaction/overreaction to Jayden Daniels' monstrous game this morning.
I would just ask the following. If you could redraft this draft, would the Bears want Jayden Daniels instead of Caleb Williams? I'd be curious about. I know we're only 3 games in, but this is how we overreact to a situation like this. Jayden Daniels looks a little further along than Caleb Williams, but it's only 3 games. I get that, but this is how we approach things. Of let's overreact. Jayden Daniels, he's going to be now he is the favorite for the offensive rookie of the year. Then it's Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr. III, then Caleb Williams. Yes, Seton.
Jayden Daniels not being asked to throw the ball 150 times a game is making him look a lot better than Caleb Williams is right now.
Okay. Well, it feels like Caleb's trying to make something happen behind an offensive line that's not very good. But we're seeing the Commanders control the ball. Like, they have these extended drives that result in either touchdowns or field goals. They did this against the Giants. They did this against the Bengals. The only time they were stopped, they would kneel down, at the end of the half or at the end of the game. That's the only way you stop them. Yes, Marv.
And I think Cliff Kingsbury is a big part of Jayden Daniels' success because he plays to his strengths. And he comes from a college football background, so he helps him out. I just never understand, he's not playing, he's playing a college system. Well,
yeah,
why not?
Yeah, it was nice that I think it was one of those, that's right. That's where Cliff ended up. And, if it works out, great. So far it has. In 3 career starts, Jayden Daniels has 2 games where his team scored on every drive. Every drive. Now, you take away kneel downs, every drive. Tom Brady had 1 game in his career, over 300 starts. Drew Brees, 1 game like this in 286 career starts. Aaron Rodgers, 1 game in 227 career starts. Patrick Mahomes, no such games in so far 99 starts. He's doing some pretty amazing things here, and I know it's a small sample size, but it was fun to watch him last night. I still go back to the teams that lost. With Jacksonville, you're going, how does this end? And then Cincinnati, 0-3, and here we go again. They have way too much talent. If I would have said to you that Joe Burrow's going to have his numbers last night, Jamar Chase is going to have his numbers, you'd go, all right, they're playing at home. They're going to win this game. The defense is the issue. If I'm looking at that, the defense has not been good. And I think that's where now you put even more pressure on the offense. Yes, Paulie.
You could probably make the case that in the past decade, I don't know if the Commanders have had a better night. National TV, you kicked your old owner that was just a mess. What was that, a year and a half ago? They had Daniel Snyder. I mean, they don't have very many good days down there Washington with football, and it just feels great.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And it just feels like they're kind of getting out from underneath that dark cloud.